Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome. I am so glad that you have found your way to my little corner on the internet. It really means a lot that you're here and watching my videos. I hope that you are all doing well. I am doing well. I feel like winter is a time of hibernation, kind of. I know that a lot of people have been speaking about it on social media lately, about winter being a season of hibernation, and I couldn't agree more. I feel like winter time is really a period or season to take things much slower, and letting everything just fall into the pace that it needs to. And it's something that I really want to strive for more. I already live a quite slow life, but even though I do that, I sometimes feel very stressed. Like if I have a day off from school, then I feel guilty for not doing school anyway. But yeah, my intention for this winter is to live a more slow life, and I want to try to implement that into my knitting as well, to knit less fast, if that makes sense, because I have found myself to be rushing projects sometimes because I want the finished piece so badly, and then I forget to enjoy the process of knitting and the process of creating, and that is sad, and I want to enjoy that a bit more. So I'm gonna try to incorporate the slow way of life into more parts of my life. Today I will be showing my finished objects and my work in progress. Oh, but first I need to tell you a really cute story. This morning I got a text from my best friend. He's in Japan right now. I'm so excited for him. It's gonna be a whole new adventure. Before he moved from Sweden this summer, I knitted him a small frog. He's the biologist that I have spoken about before, that I knitted socks for. So I thought that a frog would be good for a biologist. And it was a gift to like remind him of the times that he had in Sweden, and so that he wouldn't forget me either. And today he sent me a picture that he brought the little frog all the way to Japan, and it was just so sweet. It really made my entire day to see that he appreciates the little frog so much. It just, oh yeah, I got really happy and very moved, touched to see that. So yeah, that was a small story time. I'm not having any nice tea or anything. I'm just having some water from my beautiful bee mug. I got this from my grandparents. Yeah, as I have mentioned before, I have been doing my master thesis with focus on bees, so I have a lot of bee related things, including this absolutely gorgeous little mug. But okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty knitting stuff. I just have one project that is basically all finished. I only have to sew in some buttons. It is this, I hope that you can see this now, because my camera setup is in a way that I cannot see if everything is in the frame, but I hope so. Maybe I should move back a little bit more just in case. It's a cardigan. It's a drop shoulder cardigan, a very simple one. It's knitted top down and it is completely free-handed. I didn't use any pattern at all, and it is also I call it that no sew cardigan because I haven't seamed anything, not on the sleeves, not on the sides. The only seaming that I did was, so it's with a double folded neckline, and therefore I had to seam the other part of the neckline in here. But other than that, it's really no sew type of garment. Yeah, it's knitted in drops Nepal. I don't remember the color way right now. I will write it somewhere if you're interested. It's in like a beige wheat type of color. I think it's called beige, light beige maybe. And I did some purled rows at the end before the ribbing starts, and I really hate doing ribbing, so I was very glad when it was finished. I mean, it's not a lot of ribbing, but I first made it a little bit shorter than it is now, but it created a really weird shape in the back. So I ripped it off, or ripped the ribbing, and then continued. I think I extended with 5 centimeters of the stockinette stitch, and then added ribbing again. So I had to do another extra round of ribbing, which I don't really like, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's a really soft cardigan, and I think I will have a lot of use from it. I have named this my love cardigan, so this time it's not named after any female Tolkien character. And the reason behind this name is because I will incorporate a bunch of things that I love into this cardigan. So I have used a yarn that I really love. I will also do embroidery on it. So, and this is my first time that I will ever try to embroider on knitting, and I hope that it will go well. You never know. So I will embroider. I'm thinking of doing some kind of floral nature arrangement over here, and then I am of course gonna have some bees on it, so I'm gonna have a bee on the sleeve in some flower meadow, I think, and then yeah, I'm just gonna decorate it with a bunch of things that I love. And I have buttons to sew on, and I was in a yarn store in the springtime, I think it was, or maybe it was now in September. It was a few months ago, and my boyfriend was with me, and I saw these buttons and I absolutely fell in love with them. So I picked them up and I was ready to pay, but then he was quicker than me, so he paid for my buttons. So that's also incorporated in my love cardigan, and they are in this beautiful, I hope they are in focus now, in this beautiful green color. I think they're made out of coconuts. I'm not entirely sure. That's the back side. It looks a bit like a coconut fiber, but then they're glazed in some green color. I really think that it will look quite nice with this color of the cardigan, but I'm a bit unsure about the button band, because I might have done the buttonholes a bit too far out, as you can see. Maybe I should have done them a bit further in, but it will just make the cardigan look a bit more homemade, I hope. We will see. I'm very happy with it, at least. So it is, you can say that maybe it's 95% finished, because the knitting part is finished. I just need to sew on buttons and decorate it with embroidery, but that is also a process that I will continue on with. So I will first do some embroidery, and then wear it a bit, and then if I find something else that I really love that I want to incorporate, then I'm gonna embroider that too. But anyway, I am super happy with this one, and it was very, very easy to do, and I think I will make more of these ones. I have really found that I like the top-down knitting type of style, type of patterns, because then I can really see how long the garment is gonna be and how long the armhole is gonna be, because I really hate when there's a super tight armhole on garments. So this way I can really determine myself how big that is gonna be. So this is a style that I will definitely be doing more, and I wrote down all my stitch counts and everything so that I can remake this one, but maybe in a more summery yarn, because this is drops Nepal, so it's I think 50% alpaca and 50% wool or something like that, and it would be very nice having this one in a cotton type of yarn for the summer, so that could be a project in the future. Alright, this is the only finished object that I have, so let's move on to my whips, my work in progresses. I'm gonna start with this one because this is gonna be a quick talk. So this is in Drops Wish, a lovely forest green color, and I'm knitting a hat for my grandpa. I said in my previous knitting podcast, where I showed all like my accessory knits, that my grandpa saw my hat and really liked it and wanted one for himself. So this is how far I have come so far. So I have some work to do, but yeah, it will be a quick knit. I think I'm knitting on 7mm needles, and it's a very chunky yarn, so hopefully I can have it done in a week, and so that he can have it while it's still winter because it's a winter hat. Yeah, that was that one. And then I will show you this little thing that I started on yesterday. I am using some of my scrap yarn. I think it might look more brown on camera, but it's a dark purple yarn. It's Sannes Mandarin Petite, or just Mandarin, probably Mandarin Petite, because it's a quite thin thread. It's one of the first yarns that I ever bought. I made some coasters with it. This is like one of the first crochet things that I ever made. Oh, they're a bit dirty. I have used them a lot, and I still have yarn left from that. I think I made the coaster like 3 years ago or something. So I thought that it's time for the rest of the yarn to get some use. And I have just started on a teeny tiny little triangle bit so far, but my idea is that this is gonna be a headband. So I'm gonna continue doing this like a rectangle, and then having a triangle part at the other end, and then doing an I-cord so that I can tie it in the back. And I will probably do some embroidery on this one as well. I was first thinking of making a lacy pattern, a lace pattern in this one, but when I tried it on my hair, like, I don't think that the lace will show that well, because my hair, I mean, is brown, so it's not dark, but it's not bright either, and the yarn is quite dark, so I just don't think that any lace pattern would stand out. So I think I'm gonna embroider on it instead. And I was first searching for inspiration for lace patterns in these two books that I have. But I think I will make, if I like the idea of a headband, I will continue knitting another one with a lace pattern, but in a brighter color, so that the lace pattern can actually stand out. I was first thinking of maybe doing some cables on it, but sadly I don't think they will show that much either. So I think embroidery is my best option. So it's a very small beginning, but I will continue on it and see what happens with this one. All right, let's move on to a project that I sadly need to frog, and I will explain to you why. It is this piece. Oh, first I just need to show you my incredibly cute little knitting stoppers. They are small bees. I got them from my mum. She got me those for a Christmas present, and I have really wanted knitting stoppers for a long while, and then we found these on Etsy from a Dutch Etsy shop. I can link her shop below if you're also curious. She has a bunch of lovely like small animals, and she had some flowers and leaves and stuff like that. But yeah, I have wanted knitting stoppers for a long while, because when I travel back home to my parents, I have my knitting in my bag, and I'm always so scared that my stitches will come off. And I have tried to tie them up with like a hair tie or a rubber band, but that doesn't like covers the tops, you know, so it's still pointy, and I don't want to accidentally stab someone on the bus or anything. So having these ones is a great thing. Highly recommend. Okay. And they are so cute also. But enough about the knitting stoppers. This is supposed to be the Strawberry Fields top by Camille K, or Macimille. She is French, so I am sorry if I pronounce it incorrectly. But yeah, it's supposed to be the Strawberry Fields top, and in her pattern, so it's a tank top, a camisole, it has this beautiful like cable thing. I don't even know how to explain it, because it's not a regular cable, it's a very special one. Yeah, I will insert a picture here somewhere so you can see what I mean. It shows a little bit on my knitting, but since I have used a very variegated yarn, I feel like the cables are not done justice, because it's just too much going on. It's just too much color variation, and since you are pulling up threads, it just creates so much color everywhere, so that the cable itself just disappears and it doesn't stand out. And it's also a knitting or a stitch technique, a stitch pattern that takes me a very long time to do, and I feel like it's a bit of a waste of time to be doing a pattern that takes such a long time when it doesn't even show that well. So it's very sad. I've been working on this for maybe a week, but I have learned to do German short rows, which has been a very fun thing to learn. It's a new technique that I haven't done previously, so that has been very fun. And I will definitely be doing the Strawberry Fields top again, but with a yarn that is not multicolored, like a, what do you call it, like a solid color, so that the stitch pattern, the braids, the cables, I'm sorry, it's called braids, that is in Swedish, it's a direct translation from Swedish. Yeah, I will do it in a solid color so that the cables can really stand out and be like the masterpiece of its own. So I will have to rip this back. It's always sad having to frog any project. Sadly, I am used to it. Because you cannot get it right the first time, every time. The whole knitting thing is just a learning process about what works and what doesn't. So yeah, I will use the yarn anyway. After I finish filming this video, I'm gonna start frogging it, and then I'm gonna cast on the ripple bralette. I have done that one time before, and then it became very tight and very cropped, which is fine, but I want more of a tank top camisole piece to use, so I think I will cast on a bigger size of the ripple bralette. And I think that this yarn will be done justice in a ripple bralette, because then it's just a ribbing. I said previously that I hate doing ribbing, but this is, I think, 3x3 ribbing, which I feel is a bit easier, a bit better to do than a 1x1 ribbing. I don't know, it's just something with like the hand movements, it just feels easier doing a bigger type of ribbing than a smaller one. So I think that the colors can really stand out of its own in a ripple bralette. It's a beautiful skein that I got from my boyfriend's parents for my birthday. I was there in Belgium during my birthday, and they took me to the yarn store, and I got to choose whichever yarn I wanted, and I absolutely love this one. It's Eco Print by Katia. I have the tag somewhere. I think it's the Eco Print by Katia, and it has a lot of pink and some like brown orange color and some green. It also has this fuchsia color, which I don't like. So when I have been knitting this, I have actually cut away the fuchsia color, and it's a skein of either 100 or 150 grams. I think 150 grams, and it's 100% cotton, and it was plus minus 465 meters. Yeah. So I hope that it will be enough for a ripple bralette, and I will be doing the same in the ripple bralette. You have like a ribbing at the bottom. I will do a solid color for that as well, and continue. Moving on to the last work in progress that I have. It's a work in progress that has been a work in progress ever since the summer. So it's been just laying in my armchair and resting. It has been contemplating. Yeah, I will just show you. I think we have a front piece over here. Yeah. So this has been the intention of being a cardigan. I absolutely love this, what do you call it? The texture lace work that I have done. However, the reason why I haven't worked on this one as much is because I feel like it might be turning out way too big. I intended it to be an oversized drop shoulder cardigan, but when I worked the back piece, it looked humongous, and I just thought that this will not look nice. Okay, where's the back piece? Here we have it. Yeah, I don't have any needles attached to it now. So here is the back piece, and I just feel like it would be a really humongous piece. It's very hard to show now, but when I laid it out and I measured, I was like, wow, okay, this is gonna look so strange. So I took out the needle because I needed something else. I don't remember what it was, but I needed a 4mm needle to knit something else. So I just took out the needle, and it has been resting in my armchair ever since. And I intend to continue on it and to do some modifications, which means that I will have to frog once again, sadly. Yeah, I have 2 finished front pieces already, and it's just so sad having to frog them, but I think it will be for the best, because as of now I will not use it because it's just it's just way too big, way too oversized, in my opinion. Oversized is nice. I mean, I intended it in the beginning, but then I realized that no, I think this type of cardigan would look better if it's a bit more slimmer, I think. So yeah, I intend to rip it back, and also I will, because it's gonna be a cardigan, so I need to make a button band, and I intend to incorporate the button band as I go instead of having to pick up stitches and knit here. So I'm gonna do the button band while I knit the entire piece, and I'm gonna still use this gorgeous lace panel at the front, and also a lace panel on the sleeve has been my intention also. It's in a drops yarn again. I like drops yarn. It's in drops Belle. It's, I think, I don't remember the proportions, but it's linen, cotton and viscose, and it just creates this really lovely summer yarn with a lot of like drape, and it looks a bit like, I'm gonna say countryside or something like that, because it feels a bit like farmhouse wear. Do you understand the aesthetic I'm going for? I hope so. It just creates a very beautiful fabric, in my opinion. So yeah, when I'm done with my hats and with some other projects that I have in the line of projects to make, I will go ahead and redo this one, because I would really love to have this cardigan for the summer. I have the intention of having it as a summer cardigan, so I need to work on it before the summer arrives. So that was it. That was all my finished objects and work in progress so far. And now I don't think I have that much more to say about them. So I'm gonna finish this video, and I hope you're all having a lovely evening or morning or afternoon or night or whatever it is you're watching this one. And I hope you take care of yourself, doing some self-care in this winter, going into hibernation, taking it slow, listening to your body and mind, very important. So thank you all so much for watching, and take care. Okay, see you next time. Bye!